Hey guys, welcome back. What we got going on today is we are upgrading this customer from a portable generator setup with an interlock plate to a whole home standby generator from Generac with a concrete slab. So this customer's got a plate already installed to where if he did have a power outage, he'd hook his portable generator up. He would turn the main breaker off. He would slide this up, and then he can turn the generator on. And right here, he has a plug where he would plug his generator into. And he's got a little sub panel thing here, and you know, but you don't want to do that no more. And that's fine. We didn't want him doing that no more either. All right, so watch my left right here. I'm basically gonna, as long as we don't hit none of the hot ones. We ain't trying to be a hot boy like Lil Weezy. We won't recite any of those lyrics. 2-inch knockout set. Okay, what we have here is, this is a tool used to make holes in metal. State-of-the-art technology just came out in 2024. And what it does is, actually this has been around for decades. Actually, hydraulics have been around for centuries, thousands of years, but as you pump this, it sucks it down, and then it cuts it. And what you end up with are a couple pieces. Boom, shakalaka. So what I basically want to do is not pinch anything, not blow anything up, and again, go home with 10 fingers.
10 fingers in a full face.
I'm gonna stick that here. Can you hold those over like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Without pulling too much.
Yeah.
We got Juicy J on the track. There we go. Once I get this hole in, it's on like a pot of neck bones at a family reunion somewhere I ain't even gonna say. Hold it, what you got? You got it? Mm-hmm. All right. Hard metal. I like the popcorn cooked in the kettle. That's sugar, kettle corn. All right, empty that out, my good sir, and there's our hole. There's our 2-inch hole. But that's not good enough. We're gonna file it because sometimes it leaves a little bit of an edge, like right there. Okay, another little burr right there. File goes one way. You can do it like this, but it's really not how you're supposed to do it. So although I may seem like I'm pulling it back, I'm really putting my pressure on the forward motion. I'm just trying to knock that lip out so this connector sits flat. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. But it, yeah, you are. Oh, thank you, sir. Okay, like that. Let's get that piece of pipe again one more time. Yep, that looks a little high on that side, but that's okay. I'm gonna hit a mark right here. I'm going to trim that. Okay, I'm gonna take this down. So what I'm gonna do is I have these marks where these connectors are gonna glue up to. That way I'm not fighting it in the air. Oops. Go to the other side. There we go.
One of my favorite feelings is rimming the PVC with that thumb.
Yeah.
I love it.
Be careful on some water pipe. I've got cut with the CPVC. I went around, sliced me like a piece of pizza, but it didn't taste like cheese. So then we're gonna take these back off. So we're gonna go right to those lines so we know exactly where our connectors were. And yeah, we got a little play on here, but it's gonna be sandwiched in between those cans. Hold on, one at a time. One at a time, right there. Ryan's gonna lube up the second. Boom, I'm gonna hold that. We'll get right here. We'll take this down. So we don't even really take it all the way down. Got it. This ain't my level, but it works. I say that because it's DeWalt. But I'm using like 3 different brand tools right now. So we got Rigid, Milwaukee, DeWalt, DeWeezy. So everything's loose right now while we're gonna basically get it in place. Yep, and then we'll go through and tighten it. Beautiful. This was a Facebook Marketplace buy. AA, that's my initials. This is a Rigid 18 volt. Is it 18 volt? Yeah. Got this and another drill for $100 with 2 batteries and a charger. Man, it's just solid. I prefer this over all that new technology crap these youngsters bring to the job. You know, all that, you know, Bluetooth and where's my tools and I need to charge my batteries. No. Fully charged and ready all the time. Aircraft aluminum.
You're gonna put this in the ground bar, I assume?
Yeah, I'm gonna loop this. One trick that I do, will you hand me the, and he has it in his hand, the guts of the ATS. What I do is I like to sometimes take this out, takes about a good 20, 25 pounds out of it, and then you just end up with this empty can to where you can a lot easier maneuver and place on the wall and hook up. Because this is just aluminum. Let's stick this bad boy back in here. Everything's a bad boy, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna stick this bad boy back in here. Well, I mean, it didn't really do anything wrong. Why is it a bad boy? Why couldn't it be a good boy? I don't know. Bad boy just sounds more fun. Remember those shirts? Y'all might be too young, but it was like Bad Boy Club and it had that guy with the flat top doing this, that little cartoon. Like, what was that even about? Leave a comment if you know about this Bad Boy stuff. Remember the Bad Boy Club? And then I like wrote it on something when I was a kid and my dad was like, or my mom was like, what's this that he's writing? But I had seen it on a bumper sticker from some guy that probably drank Budweiser, and he was in the Bad Boy Club. So again, you got 4 nuts and this whole back plate just goes right back on. And then we can continue with the termination process. You want to prep the customer for a 30-minute to an hour just power outage real quick where we can, probably a lot more quickly than that, but I always like to give them a little extra, give myself a little extra cushion. Everything's torqued to the specific torque measurements and we are on, baby. Oh, this heavy ass thing. This doesn't even fit in my bag good. It's too big, man. I am going to step around to the little boys' room. It's that little tree over there.
A few moments later.
Get a little ATS going. Get on in here and check this out. I like to pre-loosen these. Those do have a little wobble, don't be alarmed. Also check for your nuts to be tightened. These as well. Loose connections can cause heat, and then that's where your power is going to come from, the meter. So first thing, y'all seen me do this before. This is my way of stripping. I go about right there. Boom. One around the back, one around the front. Strip it down, baby. And then I'll pre-bend this a little bit. Bam. Loosey-goosey. Now before I even cut this, thank you, Ryan. He handed me this white tape, I mark it. And then I drop it. Pop, lock, and drop it. Okay, going to mark it. Now this is gonna go right up in there. So I'm gonna eyeball a safe amount. We'll start with the red now. And I'm gonna pull out a generous amount because I wanna kind of feel it. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna give it another inch back in and then make my bend here to where we won't pull back in that nipple. And let's just kind of See that? Straight in the top. And we know that's gonna work. That's gonna fit like a glove. Let's get a little strip going. Boom. I'm in love with the... Her name is Jasmine. Actually, her name's Cobalt. I love this little thing. Little pry bar, bottle opener, whatever. It's got a couple little nut drivers there. Very sleek and compact. Blade comes out. Got it in a 2-pack at Lowe's. I'm slowly liking Lowe's, man. You know, they ain't just, you know, it's not just for what you think. You gotta try new things out, even if you've tried them before, because they change. I'll tell you what really got me on them was about 2 years ago. And I bought a lot of concrete from Home Depot. And you know, 16, 20, 30 bags at a time. We don't always get a full pallet just loaded on a trailer. So what I did was, you know, we had about 25 bags or so, and this gentleman was at Lowe's and he had a boot on. And he pulled the pallet over with the forklift, got off, and he helped us load concrete with a boot on his foot. Nothing was stopping this man. He was motivated to get that money. That turned me on to go in there for more stuff. And I've been a repeat customer since. I love my local Lowe's. Actually, the Spring location is my favorite. Why don't you just use some wire cutters, boy? Because that works great. That's why. I mean, we could use these. So.
Yeah, why work harder, not smarter?
And that works too, but we didn't buy a $300 bandsaw when we can.
We can spin it as Generac.
You know.
Advanced technology.
Yes.
You guys like tax write-offs?
I guess. I don't think they really help much though, honestly. I love the IRS. Those are my people. They always remind me that they miss me. Yeah. Season's greetings. We haven't forgot about you. Oh boy. Snug as a bug. Okay. Perfect. So he had to put a little back pressure on that, because otherwise this insulation, it's fiberglass, it'll just crack. There's nothing connecting that. It goes through the meter to connect. That's how it knows how much power you use. So we're gonna go again with this. Yeah, we've had them break. Thank you, Ryan. We've had them break. That's not a good time, trust me. But guess what? It teaches you to be careful for the next one. Okay, white goes in the middle. It's our noodle. I live by the motto, trust but verify. And I'll die by it. Okay, Rye.
That's me.
Go across the top, 240 and then 120, 120. What do you got? 240 right there. And then go 120, 120.
Check the grounds. We're grounded. Of course we're grounded. Always check though.
And then always
Cover.
go back with your cover for your surface entrance.
This is the only time I've ever gotten hit by 120 was on an ATS that did not have that cover. And I got up on it with my elbow in it. Ooh. It's like I flex really hard. What makes us better than the other guys?
Everything.
The fact that we got a sub button. Hit it.
Oh, I stepped in front on that, sorry. Yeah, I recently learned what subs were from my 9-year-old.
Recently? How recently?
Yeah, like a week ago,
Like your
2 weeks ago. He's like, how many subs you got? And I was like, I'm not in school anymore, I don't have substitutes. He goes, Dad, subscriptions, subs. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll just be chilling at the shop listening to music, and some of the music that his kid puts on his playlist, it's like Mr. Beast. It's like Mr. Beast singing. Helicopter, helicopter.
Leave in the comments, do you guys call these tie wraps or zip ties? I've always called them tie wraps. I've been corrected my whole life. Maybe the person that told me was an idiot though. And I'm going to tie wrap these wires up a little bit just to keep them back. You don't, kind of a mess going on here with whoever was here before, but you don't want to open a panel cover and have just wires kind of flying out, and then wires be able to be moved and all that. You want them nice and tight. So I don't know how I do it right here. There's two ways to do this. You can do it like this. Now, I didn't get very close to that, and that is sharp. That's sharp, that'll cut you. That'll give you a nice little cut. Or if you take it right here and you just spin it and it breaks it off, you don't feel anything. Now we are safe. Do this, I get it in first and then I put it where I want it. Something like that maybe. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Boom. Get my Kleins, aka lineman pliers, aka cutters, aka a hammer, aka a toy. These are everything to an electrician. Many uses. The thing here that needs to, now all this comes apart to clean, but when you hose it down pretty good, you don't need to take it out, but that's that. And then when you throw the bag on here, it'll cut the bag and it'll all drain through.
Mm-hmm. It's got PSI here. And so if you're mixing your concrete and you're a little bit too clumpy, turn that PSI up, the concrete gets super wet like instantly.
All right, let's mix. We gotta get this thing primed.
Press that button.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see it gets this all wet. Yeah, I'll get a bag of concrete. So good thing about having one of these mud mixers is you're not constantly mixing. The mud mixer is doing it for you.
Like it is.
That's pretty good. So for anyone who doesn't know how concrete is mixed, it's normally mixed in a barrel with these hoses that he's using right now to move it. And you know, we don't have to do that. You kind of get some of the labor split up. A lot of the time, this makes it a more relaxed job. So what we're pouring right now is we're pouring a 6-inch slab. So basically we have a package called our Elite Upgraded package, and this comes with a poured slab instead of a precast slab. So pretty much the precast slab is one that's already poured. We would be leveling out the floor and just kind of set it, and the generator sits on top. But this is a more, like we call it, upgraded feature. Looks more foundational, like a house. It's kind of embedded in the dirt and lasts a bit longer, a lot sturdier, and it's a lot more pleasing to the eye. So normally, when we didn't have this mud mixer, I believe it was, we did some calculations and we ran some tests. It took about 30 minutes to get the concrete mixed up and get the bags and, you know, the up and down with moving, stuff like that. With all that factored in, it was about 30 minutes to get a slab poured. But with this mud mixer, you'll see once we get this done, it pretty much cuts the time to a third. In about 10 minutes, we'll have this slab ready. And after this is all distributed, we can get some other tools to get it nice and smooth. Subscribe.
What does LeBron do?
This is looking pretty good. This is a perfect amount.
Let's get a.
All right, so right now, concrete has been poured thanks to the mud mixer. What we're gonna do is get this nice and smooth. I already smacked the sides a little bit with a mallet to get some of the air bubbles out. And right now, we're just gonna kind of get some of the excess off. And there's a little technique that concreters like to use. They use a piece of 2x4 and just kind of scrape it off. And you can see the consistency. It looks like a taco. That's so good. It's kind of satisfying.
I've never seen the concrete roll back.
Now with this excess concrete, you know, you might be thinking, hey, that's a lot. Where's it gonna go? It's just gonna go right on the side. Whenever it dries, we'll be able to crack the weak points and just pick it up and throw it away. So it's not gonna stay on the side. You can see how these air bubbles go away. All right. Now you can see how much cleaner that looks. So flat. Because we had those edges, we were able to use that as basically, I don't know the right way to say it, but with the sides of the wood, we were able to put this 2x4 and use it to keep it level. So it's super flat right now. While we had this set up, let me catch my breath. Whew! That was a little tiring. Okay. Nice. So now that we got that level, we're gonna give it a little spray of water. And we don't do a really smooth finish. We like to use this. This is just a normal broom. It's one of those that sits at an angle like this. We removed this from another mop, broom, whatever that we had. And we use it to kind of make brush strokes. And this is the texture that we leave the concrete pads on. We'll leave this for a little bit. And then later on, once it dries up, we'll come back with the edger, get those nice and smooth, and then we'll have a nice concrete slab. But this little guy does not belong here.
Yeah, you don't want to listen.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta leave.
Yeah, we've had some situations where a little critter comes out.
We buried a lizard.
Yeah.
We have yet to bury it.
So if we let this little critter stay here, what'll happen is while it's drying, he will cause the water that's on top of the concrete to stay with him, and it'll create a little trail where he's been walking, and then that ultimately gets him to finish, and we don't want that. So we'll get this nice and wet. Yeah, so this just makes it sit on top of the concrete a little bit easier, less friction. Even though we did put the water, we'll kind of go like this, press it down, and just real lightly. And the hard thing is trying to keep it straight while moving. And bam. So that's it. That's our finish for the top. As far as brushing, that's our texture. We'll let it dry, and we'll come back with the edger, get those edges nice and crisp. We want the slab looking pretty. Make sure, you know, whenever you are working with concrete, you always clean the tools that you're using concrete on, because once it dries up, it can damage that tool. And then that tool that could have been taken care of and used a lot will get thrown away because of all the concrete that builds up. And we don't want that to happen. You know, save money, live better. Papa John's. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna accent this slab. Essentially, we're gonna go around the edges and make it look super smooth, but on the centerpiece, it's gonna have this kind of textured line pattern. So we're gonna start in a corner, and we're just gonna go all the way down. It also kind of, it rounds the outside of the slab just a little bit, but I think it looks really nice.
All right, guys, so this was a pretty basic one. It's all right here, but I just want to go over the details and show you what we did today. Again, we installed this 200 amp automatic transfer switch, commonly known as an ATS. And the customer originally was just using this plate. This is a backfeed for a portable generator to where he can turn the main power off, slide this safety plate up, and then safely bring generator power to the panel. And then he can kind of select what he wants to run. We also went with an upgraded 6-inch slab. A lot of these installs will get a precast slab, but on this one, we wanted to go with something a little more solid. Customer wanted something poured. So this turned out really nice. Hey guys, did I show you this, this new set of pliers I got right here? Bam! Happy birthday. Whee! Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Like, comment below. Tell us what we did wrong, what you want to see more of, or what you like. Can't wait to hear from you.